your hosts of Sports Are Fun, Kelley O'Hara, BJ Beckwith, Merritt Mathias, Greydy Diaz.
How's everybody doing? Yeah? We feeling good?
Hi.
Okay, who in the house is for South Carolina? That's it?
Oh, nobody.
Okay, all right. Let's see who can get the loudest. Okay, South Carolina. Decent. Texas.
Wow, nobody?
We got thumbs down in the back. Okay, Erica Timberlake.
We have one.
UCLA. Okay. I think UCLA might be winning. Right, here we go. I see you guys. UConn?
UConn.
There's a lot of UConn fans in here.
All right,
Wow.
I'm glad I saved them for last.
Right?
There we
That
go.
would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, what up?
Yeah.
Y'all, thanks for being here with us tonight. We're pumped to be live in Tampa. This is the first ever live Sports Are Fun presented by TurboTax show. Thank you all for being here. We have a fun lineup ahead of us tonight, but first we're gonna talk about ourselves.
Perfect.
So-
I love this
Yeah,
topic.
so I'm your host, Kelley O'Hara, and I'm obviously from the soccer world, as some of you might know. Thank you. However, my bracket is saying I am becoming a women's college basketball expert because I am winning all of the bracket, whatever groups I am in.
to be fair, I didn't fill out my bracket.
To be fair, but do you think that you would have even come close?
1,000%.
Okay.
I think I would have won.
Okay, well, introduce yourself, Professor.
But you know what did win?
What?
The name of my bracket.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, hi everyone, I'm Merritt Mathias. I just recently retired from professional soccer and have now stepped fully into broadcasting and podcasting.
Yeah. Broadcast to podcast, baby. Let's go.
So I have, I guess, certifiably become like a professional yapper. I
100%.
like
I feel like
indulge in all the opinions.
Yeah, that was your lifelong
all
goal.
the things. And recently I become the professor of the sports, which is why I'm dressed like this. I need everyone to appreciate this fit because
She is our professor tonight.
it's good. It's good. It's
Give
good.
a little. There you
Merritt,
go.
time out. I want to see the shoes one
Yeah,
more
let's
time.
go.
Yo, this
Let's
shoes.
go.
Wow.
Professors
You hear
in
that
the
whistle?
house.
They're butch stompers, if you will. You know.
Professors in the house. All right.
Okay, well, I'm the personality hire, BJ Beckwith. Hi. Who has not played a sport in college? Oh, and it was silence. Who did not play a sport professionally? You guys are just like me. So I'm just a fan of women's sports, and then I did a little application.
You want to say contest, but yes, there was a proper intern application that he won.
I won.
If we want to say contest.
So-
But yes, first ever intern of JWS and is absolutely crushing it on the show.
Salute.
Yes.
I love that.
Give it up. Give it up.
Give it up.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Greydy Diaz, a.k.a.
Hey!
Thank
Who's a
you.
Greydy fan?
A.k.a. mid-range mommy.
Okay.
Just so you know, I still hoop. I'm a journalist, host, and producer, and I'm just so happy to be here. And thank you so much for showing up today, showing up for women's sports, showing up for us, and showing up for these incredible athletes who are on the big stage this weekend.
That's right. That's right. She's on it. She's on it.
Greydy always says the right thing.
She does. Okay, I didn't want to bring this up before we got out here, but whenever we do our intros on our podcast taping, we've never made it through without giggling and having to start over. So I'm really
That
proud
was
of
the
us.
first
Yeah,
time.
right.
This
Yeah,
was the
First time ever,
So
actually.
you guys got to be part of that. So thank you. It must be your presence. I
Yeah,
think.
definitely. We couldn't mess it up.
No,
We
definitely not.
had to hit it.
Yeah. Okay, but enough about us. We have some amazing guests tonight. We have a Hall of Famer. We have some college basketball legends, and we also have somebody who's going to be suiting up tomorrow, coming on the show tonight. So you're going to have to wait and see who that is. But we're pumped to be here with you guys. Thank you again. Like Grady said, thank you for being out here. Thank you for being with us. And I think we're going to jump right into it. We got our first guest coming on the stage, and we're gonna go into our first segment, which is our Now This Is Madness, presented by TurboTax segment. And we're gonna go into the matchups of tomorrow, the two Final Four matchups. And I thought there was no one better to bring out and have us educated on, although we have our professor up here.
Exactly. Don't ask me about any statistics. I'm just here to look at.
Go into all the X's and O's other than two-time All-American at USC, two-time WNBA champion, 3-time WNBA MVP, and 4-time Olympic gold medalist, my very good friend, Lisa Leslie. Hey! What up, girl? We're doing group hugs. What are we doing? We're hugging it out? Okay, hi.
Hey,
You guys, give it up for Lisa Leslie. Are you kidding me? Okay, first of all,
Wait, you guys cleared the sofa?
yeah,
You
come
got
on.
a whole couch. Welcome to our therapy session.
Yeah, we
Welcome
decided
to
this
therapy.
is our
Yeah.
therapy couch. If you want to get
You have to
comfortable.
tell all.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Get
Is this the
ready.
spot?
I always get nervous, Lisa, when I'm doing your accolades, your resume.
I know, you said 2-time, what?
You
All
two-
American?
Two-time All-American at USC, no?
Only
Four-
2?
Forget something?
I don't know, bro, but 2 sounds
Well,
like
you
I
know
was
what?
slacking.
I'll send it to you next. I'll send it to you next time to
I
edit.
didn't know.
Okay, my bad.
I don't remember.
Can someone look that up for us, please? Come on.
Oh, should I do that?
BJ forgot
where's
to.
your laptop that you
Forgot the
didn't
laptop.
bring?
I'm not really interning today.
Yeah, he.
Okay, I was the National Player of the Year. How about that?
Okay,
that sounds
listen,
better.
there's too many. Yeah, exactly.
That sounds better.
There's too many things to list for
Okay,
you.
fine.
Okay, we had to pick and choose.
You shouldn't have started the list. You should just
Well, yeah.
like,
Okay.
my
Well,
homegirl,
anyway.
Lisa's
Well, we wanted-
here.
We wanted to pump
Like-
you up.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right.
Okay, listen. We're gonna get right into it. South Carolina.
I feel like y'all don't know nothing about basketball. You called me to come tell you everything that I think.
How's your time out?
What? You like, she's
No, no,
gonna
no,
come
no,
up with
no,
the
that way,
S's
not
and
this way, though,
O's.
right? No.
Yeah.
Hey, how's your bracket doing?
My bracket's
Who'd
doing
you have
well.
to win in?
How's your final 4 right now? What's it look like?
My final 4, I have 2 correct. Actually, I have 3 correct and 1 wrong.
Okay, so
Because
how many
Notre
do you
Dame
have?
did not make it.
Okay, so I have 4 correct.
No, you don't.
I do.
That you put out before the tournament began?
Yes, that's how brackets work.
Good job.
Come on.
All right. I mean, I went with Notre Dame. Listen, I knew they were struggling. They started out so well, and then I thought that the guards would really just turn it around. I thought that they would give Haley Van Lith a little bit more. Haley took them to school so bad. Shout out to TCU, because I thought they had a phenomenal year. I thought it was listen, the brackets it was tough. And I know we say the word parity a lot, and people just say it, but I mean, for real, you really had no idea who was going to make it here. And I don't know who you guys are fans of, and the lights are so bright, I can't see.
You had no idea who was going to make it here, but I did.
You did.
I did. Okay, so let's talk about
So
it.
you picked.
I
you-
picked Texas for South Carolina.
Okay, I
and
picked
UConn
Texas. I picked
versus UCLA.
UConn versus UCLA.
Okay.
I just didn't. Well, listen. No, all mine are right for the Final 4, but I was my Elite 8.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
messed
okay,
up
okay.
with Notre Dame.
Okay, fine.
Okay?
All right,
but my Final 4 is
So we're-
100% correct.
So what you're saying is we're on equal footing in basketball.
Absolutely. We're like twins still.
Okay. We are.
All
Okay,
right.
listen. South Carolina versus Texas. You're very good friends with Dawn Staley, South Carolina's manager, coach. This is their 5th consecutive Final 4 appearance. Texas.
You guys give it up. Let
Yeah,
me just
right,
say
right.
how
Right?
it is so hard, first of all, to make it to a Final 4.
Once.
And I know that people think like, oh, the Final 4. Like the Final 4, first of all, I've been to the Elite 8, I think twice. Don't Google me. I don't know.
Google
but
it.
I think I played in 2 Elite 8s, and that means that we didn't make it to the Final 4, which is so tough and sickening because it's just so bad when you don't get that ticket to get to the Final 4. So the fact that they're back
5 times in a row.
5 times, and I gotta say, my honest thing is that I feel like they have not played their best basketball yet.
Oh, okay.
They have
why makes you
not.
think that?
Like, I almost feel like they have just hung their hats on their defense, that seatbelt defense with the guards, but
Okay.
they have not been on the same page offensively. I have no idea where their baskets are coming from. I don't know if they know, but I don't know as a fan. And that's a little scary, but also it could be like, hey, the upside is that we are here,
Right.
and we haven't played our best basketball.
Okay, so do you think that this being their 5th consecutive year, that gives them a ginormous advantage going into this game, or no?
I don't know that it gives anybody an advantage, but what I know is they've been tested. They've been
Right.
battle tested, and they've come through in games where you're like, I mean, I'm telling you, I just, maybe because, Don and I are so close, so watching them, I feel some kind of way, more watching South Carolina than any other team. Obviously, USC would be my other team that I felt clearly some kind of way, and with Juju going down. Oh my gosh.
know.
Okay, I don't need a drink, but
Yeah.
you know, listen, hats off to UCLA. They really are amazing, and I'm
Right.
happy that out of the West that they're still representing, because you know people fall asleep, they don't see the West as
It's
much.
true,
as,
I do.
So now
I'm known for it.
With you know them with the Pac-10, Pac-12 going away, people have gotten a great chance to see UCLA and USC, which is amazing. But
sure.
with Juju going down, you know, UConn steamrolled them.
I know.
They
did.
look great. They look great. Wow. Okay, I switched every
You
time.
did.
What do you want to
Yeah,
talk
We're
you
about?
gonna talk
switched it up,
about
my God.
UCLA, UConn in a second.
Okay, Texas.
Yeah, Texas. Any thoughts on
Ooh,
Texas?
Yes.
How do you?
Texas defense. Man, you don't want to see that. This is going to be probably a low-scoring game.
That's what I. Okay.
Because the defense on both sides are so, I mean, it's stellar. Between, I think, South Carolina, Texas, and Duke, I don't know if defense gets any better than those three teams. And it's been excellent. I mean, and I don't know if people can really appreciate it because you look and you go, the score is so low. You know,
Right.
you're thinking it's like 23-17 and it's almost halftime or something. But the defense is just so excellent. And so it's going to be interesting to see. I think, again, South Carolina has proven to be able to win ugly. They find ways. But if Booker goes off, she was struggling just a little bit, I felt like, in the first quarter of her last game. But if she's able to really, and again, you got the defense of South Carolina. I just don't know. It
how does
really is a
South-
toss-up.
But do you think they're relying too heavily on Booker?
Well, that's a possibility. I think every team is relying heavily on their best players.
Right.
I mean, you can say that about Paige Beckers. I mean, everybody has to rely. This is winning time right now. And so if you're an All-American, you're expected to be able to go out there and score and find ways to get buckets and get to the basket and also get to the free throw line. And those are the things that an All-American should have in their heads. Like, you can see when your team needs a basket, and you have to really have the heart and the desire to hunt the ball, to sort of make sure that your teammates know in the huddle that you want the ball. And those are the moments that you live for. So I don't think that, you know, I remember one point in the game where Booker kind of, she finally hit a shot and she threw her hands up in the air, like, finally,
Yeah.
you know, because she knows that those 10, 12 footers are like money for her, eyes
are.
closed.
Mid-range mommy.
That mid-range mommy,
You know,
we'll call
junior.
her the mid-range baby. But I also think that's easier to guard, that mid-range where she shoots from, that she has to, and we talked about going down the line. Listen, she's only a sophomore. Going down the line, she's going to have to be able to stretch the court more. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a three-pointer, but she doesn't really shoot like a 17-foot, you know, pull up, or even 15. I feel like she's really 10, 12. But she's had so much success. Again, it's going to be so exciting. I'm not a fortune teller here. This is great basketball, and the fact that we really don't know who's going to win the championship, I think, is what makes it so beautiful.
But if
Okay.
you had to guess,
Yeah.
who's coming out in the championship?
But go ahead and put the pressure on me. Well, what I'm going to do is say
wait.
this.
No, we're not going to ask her that yet.
Okay.
Just kidding.
You
Rewind.
can give us UCLA. We can talk all through it all.
Okay.
Let's wait till the end.
All right.
Okay. We're not gonna put that on you yet.
Okay.
Okay.
You put it on
Okay.
me after.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It-
okay.
it is coming though, so
Yeah,
be
I know.
prepared. Okay.
All right.
I'm giving you a heads up.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What I find interesting about this matchup, South Carolina versus Texas, this is the fourth time these teams are meeting this season. South Carolina's won twice. Texas has won once. So, in my mind, when that's happened, when I've played on a team and ended up playing a team multiple times in a season or a tournament or whatever, it comes down to the strategy and, like, which coaching staff can out-strategize the other. Who here has the edge?
Both coaches are excellent coaches. Both coaches are veteran coaches. I don't think it will come down to the coaches and the strategy. At some point, you have to realize the game comes down to that hardened effort. It comes
Okay.
down to those 50-50 balls, and it comes down to taking care of the ball every possession. And sometimes you'll see the difference between pro basketball and college basketball is the fact that some possessions are like teams work so hard. For example, Texas worked so hard to turn TCU over, right? I don't know the stat off the top of my head, but it was almost like 8 turnovers. but they were never able to score off those turnovers. They worked so hard to turn the ball over, right, to get them to force the turnover,
Right.
and then you go down, and sometimes when you're in college, you don't necessarily value the possession. The possession, the fact that you have the ball, like, get a good shot. Let's execute our offense. And
Coach
that's where
Lisa
a
right
veteran,
here. Coach Lisa right here.
a veteran, right? A veteran player,
Yeah.
a veteran coach comes in and you're like, we need to get a good shot. But the younger your team is, the harder it is to get them to buy into the idea that if we work so hard to get that ball and
Make it count.
yeah, sometimes like the long passes. They'll throw long passes when it's like, bro, that pass, you just threw it right back to the
Right.
other team.
Yeah.
Like it's unnecessary. So I feel like that's the part where you see how South Carolina has been here before. Those are the times where that possible veteran leadership can come into play and them recognizing the importance of that. But let's also address the elephant in the room. Like, Pow Pow's got to shoot the ball better. Okay. Hall has got to shoot the ball better. Like, they have not shot the ball well and enough to me. So they have got to find ways to actually score against Texas once you break the press and get into that half-court offense. That's where the big question mark has been, I think, for South Carolina in this tournament. Just like, where are these points going to come from?
And they need their bench.
Yeah.
They rely heavily on their bench and the way that they played against Duke.
Yeah.
It was a little shaky in terms of what their bench contributed.
Right.
So
But not defensively.
not defensively, but
Offensively,
offensively, absolutely.
yes.
And at the end of the day, it's who scores the most points, right? So they need to get on the boards.
Well, that's kind of the rule for any game.
Yeah.
You left it open. I had to get it. Okay, but yeah, I think you're right. Whichever team can like really put together points back to back and really get a momentum offensively. But this is the thing about both those teams. Their defense is so disruptive that you
Right.
don't get a good flow.
They rely,
Neither
yeah.
team will really get into a good flow offensively, which makes it hard for them to score.
Right.
Which also then, for me, I look at the post players where I'm like, okay, this is where post play really comes in. I get that guards can struggle because you haven't gotten enough jump shots, you haven't gotten enough touches, so your rhythm's not there. Post players and layups, I'm like,
You gotta make those.
You gotta make them.
those.
You gotta make them.
bro, pump fake, slow down, look at the rim. Like,
Get the foul.
why are we shooting the ball over? That part for me, I'm just. So again, I look at it and I'm just like, slow down in the post. You need those shots.
Yeah.
You need that and one.
Gotta make
you
them
need
count.
that. They count.
All right, well, that's the first game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Quickly, I want to hear from
Who do you think's gonna win? Who'd you pick?
Well, we're going to talk about this at the end.
Okay, at the end, okay.
Remember,
Other side of the
at the
bracket.
end. Yes. UCLA, UConn, second game tomorrow night. Very different tale in terms of the matchup because they haven't played each other multiple times, and UCLA's first time in the Final Four. So, and UConn, hasn't won one in a while, but they are the most storied program in college basketball history. So, how do you think being UConn versus being UCLA, when it comes to the matchup tomorrow night, who's got the advantage?
Well, let's just know Gino's an excellent coach, as we already know.
Right.
His game plan and strategy is going to be really tough for Lauren Betts. Lauren Betts, 6'7" is hard to stop, no matter which team you're on. We saw that with South Carolina when they had 6'7", right, and Camila. So that's a tough matchup to stop. But if anybody can stop Lauren Betts, I'm not a betting woman, but if I was betting,
Against Betts.
listen, Sarah Strong, that freshman right there, she's got it.
She's fun to watch.
And she's just dynamite. And I love the fact that she was able to really just, for lack of a better word, like man the paint against USC. It was incredible that they did not continue to attack her. She really moved those post players out to like short jumpers and things like that. So I feel like Sarah Strong, no pun intended, will play really strong on the inside and be able to have the body and the strength to push Lauren Betts out. The problem that I think that happens sometimes with all post players, so I'm not saying just Lauren, because I really think Lauren has been phenomenal. She's a game changer. She's the kind of player who's changed a program. UCLA has never been to the Final Four, and she's changed that program forever. Can she just catch and be okay not being as close to the rim and turn and shoot? I don't know if she I know that she can do it, but a lot of times post players think they need a dribble to get closer, and you have to realize that the dribble is what ignites the double team.
Right.
Like most teams say, when they dribble, guards go double, right? But a lot of post players don't adjust to the fact that I don't need a dribble to turn around. I can just turn and shoot off the glass, I could. I think that's what's important, just to be able to turn and shoot. If she turns and shoots, UCLA, there's no stopping her. But if she turns and she puts the ball on the floor to try to get closer, it's going to be a problem because Sarah's going to use her strength to push her out a little bit further to make her uncomfortable.
Right.
And she's going to want to dribble to get closer, which is going to then make the UConn defense double and rotate.
Okay.
If UCLA can beat UConn, it's going to be somebody else other than Lauren Betts, which they did a phenomenal job shooting the 3-ball last game. So it's not impossible. I think UCLA is in a very good position here. But UConn is UConn, and Gino's Gino. And if there's a way to stop them and solve it, I think those two teams are playing the best basketball. Let me just leave it at that. Both of them are playing the best offense and defense. Right. Not necessarily the best defensive teams, but they play well together. They know what they want. They're not picking up full court. They're going to pick you up. They don't mind if you pass the ball, but they're going to, they're not the toughest defensive teams, but they play a good brand of basketball, and they're playing the best offensive basketball.
Okay.
Lisa, when I think of some of the best players in UConn history, a lot of them have championships. So how important is a championship to Paige's legacy at UConn?
Well, I think people ask that all the time.
I am curious, though.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's not that important.
You don't think
What do you mean it's not important?
No. The reason why it's not, well, here's the reason why it's not important. I'm a great example of why it's not important.
I was about to say, you never won,
I mean, so how would I answer that any other way? I didn't win a national championship in college. That was college, but there's a whole career beyond
You won
that.
as a pro.
But this is a good question because
So you still won at some point.
I won at some point. There's some people who've never won at all.
Right.
So that's a different conversation.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, Lisa, I feel like we've grown up with Paige in like an NIL era. Like you have she's captivated like such an audience in such a massive way. If she isn't to win a championship in like 10 years from now, is she being spoken about in terms of like the same conversations you have with like former UConn legends?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You heard it here first.
Because you're looking at Paige Beckers, who the NIL deals, the person that she is, how she, I think, again, I don't know her well, but just the way that she celebrates and shares with her team. Sometimes we get mixed up with like accomplishments and accolades versus the person. Paige Beckers seems to be an amazing person and teammate. And so I think that carries. Also, we have social media, so there's no way you're going to forget about her. She's about to be the #1 draft pick in the WNBA. Now, she gets there, and she doesn't have a stellar career in the W, then maybe we don't talk about her anymore. But I don't really see that happening. I think it will continue to build. And she'll also be an Olympian. She'll also possibly, again, I'm not on the committee, but play in the 2028 Olympics maybe.
So fun.
So it's like, you can't just say if this young lady doesn't win this national championship that we're going to be like, oh, Paige Beckers who?
Right.
Like, no,
She's changed the game in like so many other ways, I feel like.
It just doesn't hang on one accomplishment. It
Very
really
true.
doesn't.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right, we could talk forever.
Ever.
We know that, right? But BJ, now you can ask.
Who do you think is going to win?
The golden question. Well, I'll tell you what. Before the tournaments began, I did pick USC Southern California, who's not there anymore, obviously, because Juju went down. So my answer now, I don't have one, because I really don't know who's going to win. I picked USC because I really felt like we had a chance. And now we don't. So,
Lisa,
all right, well, you have to
that
give
from
us
you.
an
I
answer.
had USC winning.
You have to give us an answer.
you say you did?
I did. That's who I picked.
You picked?
I
Yeah.
know.
So now,
Juju going down is
so
heartbreaking.
now it's just tough. I had South Carolina versus USC.
Okay.
I will say that I would think South Carolina, it's really a freaking toss-up between UCLA and UConn. Like, I'm not even a hater. I really...
You just got to pick one.
I know. It's tough.
We're all leaning in.
I'm going to say... Dang, no, I can't do it.
Lisa, you have to say
Okay, a team in blue.
Oh my God.
Boo.
Give it up for
Thank you,
Leslie,
guys.
everybody. A team in blue, come on now. That's like
Bye, guys.
all the
Enjoy
above.
The Final Four.
Give it up, Elisa. Woo! All right.
team in blue.
She skirted that question.
I think
She picked D, all the above.
That was like a media training question.
Yeah, that was good. Good for her. Good for
Yeah.
her.
We don't
Pull
have
that
that.
out.
the only two teams are UConn
And UCLA.
and UCLA that are blue. So
So whoever wins tomorrow.
Yes,
yeah,
thank you,
whoever wins
Professor.
tomorrow.
Professor. Brother Matthews.
I think she wanted to say UConn.
She knows her team color. Yeah, you don't think she won. Oh no, she didn't want to say UCLA
Oh yeah, that's true.
because it's going against USC. Lisa,
True.
is that true? Okay. Well, we got that a little bit out of Lisa, and thankfully we got all of her X's and O's, which
Well, we went deep there.
we did.
I feel like I could play basketball now.
We could. Yes. You're ready to coach tomorrow. This is a good
I am
fit
ready to
for the
coach.
sideline.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Nothing is more important to me than having great teammates, just like I do here on Sports Are Fun. This tax season, you can find the perfect teammate when you get matched with a TurboTax expert who will help make sure you get the most out of your taxes this season. They'll do your taxes from start to finish, so you'll get the most money back guaranteed, and you'll have more time to watch women's sports and yap about them. Now this is taxes. Match with an expert now on TurboTax.com. Experts only available with TurboTax Live full service. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
All right, we got Lisa's takes. We got all of her info on the matchups. Now we're going to bring out somebody who has a very vested interest in what goes down tomorrow night. Please welcome to the stage, two-time first team All Big East, 2024 first-round draft pick, 2024 Olympian, and member of last year's UConn Huskies Final Four team, Aaliyah Edwards! Everybody give it up for Aaliyah Edwards. Come on now. Are you kidding me? Okay, I don't know if you heard backstage, but UConn is representing the most in the house right now, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's hear it. Good for UConn. Okay.
Wait, I have one little question before we start. What does your chain say?
Oh, it says my name. Shout out to my parents because they made it for me. It has a heart. It has a maple leaf because I'm Canadian. And thank you.
Oh, Canadians in the house. Let's go.
It has a basketball and a snake for Black Mamba, Kobe.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Amazing. Okay, well, you are coming to this Final Four in a very different way than you did last year. Last year, you were a player, you played in it. This year, you're an alumni, you're a fan. I am very curious, how is it being on the other side, and which one do you prefer?
Listen. So, March is always like the toughest month. And when you're in school, it's like, you got exams rolling around.
Right.
You got a whole bunch of end-of-year assignments. Then you got March Madness. Then you got, coach being on your butt a little bit extra. So, and even this year, March is pressure just because, training camp's about to start up. We're coming back from off-season.
Right.
Things and trainings, but this year, it's way less pressure for
Yeah,
me. So
yeah.
I'm just like
That's
loving
nice.
life. I'm cruising,
A little bit more chill.
supporting from a distance.
Nice.
Did you make a bracket?
Did I what?
Did you make a bracket?
No. See,
Is it
I'm
like,
not.
would it be weird to make a bracket?
it wouldn't be weird, but I just missed the cutoff.
Fair
and
enough.
I felt like it was
One of those. We have one of those.
I
So
feel
did
like
Merritt.
John is.
It'd be like that sometimes.
But we all know who I got in my bracket.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, I'm curious. What's Gino doing like right now?
What time is it?
Is he like prepping?
It's 8:34.
The night before game.
I don't know. They probably got a team dinner, and then after the team dinner, he's probably like watching film, probably going over the scout and the game
Right.
plan again. He's probably texting a couple of us like, "Are you guys locked in? You good? You ready? You excited?" Other than that, he's probably just sleeping or hanging out with Mrs. A. his wife.
Have you had any communication with any of the players? Are you giving them encouragement? Are you texting them at all, or are you letting them just be?
Oh no, I'd be blowing up their phones.
Wait, what do you say in those group texts or those personal texts? Like, what are some, you don't have to tell us like the word for word, but what kind of encouragement are you giving them?
You just like,
No, I'm not gonna spill the tea. I'm not gonna spill it because they're gonna come back at me. But I think just words of encouragement, just telling them most of them have been there before at the Final Four, and just trust yourself and believe in yourselves. It was funny, before the Elite Eight, I think I was talking to Paige, and it was like probably about 3 hours before like tip off. I'm like, bro, stop texting me. Go warm up or something. Go put up some shots. But it's just like, I don't know. Even though I'm a year removed, I'm still so in it with the team. Those are like my sisters. Those are my girls, and it feels weird not to put up a jersey and lace up and go play with them. But I'm glad to be here supporting. I don't want to say I'm old, but I'm an alum now.
You're not old.
You're not
girl.
old.
You're not old. Okay, you got time.
Wait, but quick question. When you were in their position last year, who were some of those UConn alum that were texting you?
It was definitely like the Tina Charles, the DTs, the Sue. I mean, they had their show down at the Final Four, which is a fan favorite too, but they would even come to practice. The Fees. I think, one thing that's beautiful about the Bleed Blue, about just UConn Huskies and alum, is just everyone's so connected. And it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how young you are, you always get the reach. And I think that's the biggest thing that you can appreciate as a player, up and coming, especially like, DT, who's like a legend. Congrats on her retirement now, but like she really just was so invested in the team any way she can. So I think that's what we all appreciate at UConn, and we're playing underneath coach too, so sometimes you need another voice to listen to than just him.
Going into the Final Four, like, competition, all this stuff, what is the vibe at practice, do you think? Do you get a different Gino? I know that I've played for coaches where I'm like, oh my God, we got playoff so-and-so. Like, they're
like,
off the charts.
Coach gets
like,
tight, he gets stressed.
They get tight. So does he stay like pretty loose? Is the vibe like pretty chill, or is it still like we're sticking to the X's and O's? And
He's pretty consistent with sticking to the X's and O's, but there are some times you walk into the gym, you can just feel like
tension.
We gotta pick this one up in practice today. But no, I feel like he's very locked in when it's playoff time. More intentional with what he's doing. Practices aren't as long, thank God. Very short and sweet. Just get in and execute. But no, he's always on the ball during this time of the year. But that's why it's like so much pressure, because everything is magnified. You know?
Yeah,
for sure.
I would imagine like that type of intention and everything that you went through at UConn has like really just kind of flowed over into your professional career. What have you taken from your college experience into playing in the W? What's different? What's the same? What have you learned about yourself?
I think one of the things I've learned about myself is how professional I carried myself even before stepping into the league, which I'm very grateful for, because to have that type of work ethic, to have that type of mindset, it's not easy being young, being a rookie, playing against people you watch on TV, and you're like, I don't even think I would ever play against this player before, but you go out there
It's
and
crazy,
you do.
right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know, they're also like women. You're like, you are
Grown
women.
Yeah, you're grown up.
I'm going up against BG like, please, bro.
Give me some
Something. But no, I think also that I learned from college was just holding myself to a standard.
Yeah.
And I go back to our mindset as athletes who come out of UConn. I think that's one of the things that makes us so great is we just are so conditioned to be so disciplined, and we're just very dedicated and purposeful in everything that we do in our training. And everyone will tell you, ask any UConn athlete, practices are way harder than the games.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
That's how great programs operate.
Yeah.
That's
truly.
truly how great programs operate.
Yeah.
You're like, thank God we got to Friday or Saturday.
Exactly. We got to game day.
Make it through
Oh
the
my
week.
God.
Yeah,
Or like
exactly.
even during practice, I don't know if you felt this, but we would go through like technical trainings where you're like, you have to be so switched on. And then they're like, all right, you get to like play.
Yeah.
And you're like, thank God.
No,
like
CD
I
is
have
definitely
literally
the technical person.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get the footwork down before you even shoot a shot. And I'm like, oh my gosh. 30 minutes goes by.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
You're like, let me have the ball. All right, I got to ask some X's and O's. How are the Huskies going to approach tomorrow night, especially with Lauren Betts on the court?
See, I'm not gonna release the whole.
Okay,
scout
okay,
now.
yeah. You don't have to give us. She's like,
Biased,
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
biased,
No, that's
but
smart,
I'm gonna
smart.
put my coach's hat on.
Okay, let's hear
and
it.
I think the first thing is we just need to set the tone, play our game, focus on us, because we've been doing great things. So I think we just gotta play off that momentum. Second thing would be, limit the touches inside. I feel like UCLA, the last couple games I've seen them play, is obviously you got Lauren Betts in the interior doing her thing, but also when teams double team, she kicks out for the three.
Right.
They got a lot of things moving. So limit their touches inside will kind of throw off their momentum and their rhythm, because when they're in the rhythm, they're balling out.
Yeah.
So, and the third thing, which is like a UConn motto, is just play hard, play smart, and have fun.
Love it.
I think that we just gotta focus on us. Obviously, respect UCLA, but I think we got it in the bag.
Love that.
Ooh, she said it here first, yo. She said it here first.
All right, so you got to put in your picks for tomorrow night and then championship. So let's hear it.
So we're gonna excuse the left side of the bracket, because you already know who's going to the championship and who's winning. The right side, that was a tough one. I would say South Carolina.
Okay.
I know. I want that rematch of the championship game of South Carolina and UConn. But I think that Texas has been the best. They've played the best basketball they've ever played in the last 5 years. Even playing against them, I feel like they're really very disciplined on defense, and it's really helping them be successful and closing out games. So it's going to be a cool matchup, as we've seen in the SEC conference. They played against each other a lot. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm on the
You can just go.
Year, so
Girl, you can just go enjoy tomorrow night and cheer. So thank you so much for.
Wait.
Oh, no.
I have one question.
Okay,
because
sorry. Wow.
This has been on my mind for a bit. You beat fellow Husky Brianna Stewart in one-on-one unrivaled. And time out. She didn't score 1 point. So my question to you is, what sort of confidence does that give you going into year 2 of your WNBA career?
Oh, yeah,
Man, what a matchup for sure. Even the whole one-on-one was just crazy. But I think it wasn't even that game that started everything, but every person I played against, every player, they're like elite scorers. So my mindset was like, I had to attack first and stay hot, because
That's what you did.
they could come and close the game out real quick. So I think from the whole experience, what I learned was just, I'm meant to be here. I've worked hard to be here and be in this position.
Yeah! Let's go!
But also just, I think it was just a testament to just believing in yourself. It kind of played back into when you're kids and you just like, hey, here, check up. Let's play once. That's how I felt. And I think that, I got a lot more respect from the vets. Hopefully they're not mad at me when I played this season. It was all love at the end of the day, but no, I just love the opportunity to showcase my skills, and I'm definitely running it back with Fee. But I'm glad that, if I didn't lose anybody, it was a Husky.
Yeah,
so.
true.
And I got one more question for you. The draft is coming up. If you could pick anyone to join your team, anyone, Final Four players, who are you picking?
I'm happy for anybody to come and join our team. I'm not the GM,
So much
don't
media
put that
training.
in my hands. But it's going to be a cool draft this year. I'm going to go next weekend, too, to support some of my friends. But, should be cool.
And last question, was Gino crying in that press conference with Paige?
Come on now. No. Not at all. I've never seen that man cry. So, no.
Oh, man. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. Enjoy tomorrow. You don't have to suit up. You can just have fun and cheer on your Huskies. So we appreciate you.
Yeah,
thank you.
I forgot about that.
Give it up, guys. Come on now. Let's go. All right. Loved that. We got a little bit inside scoop.
I mean, love her.
Secrets are spilling on the therapy couch.
I mean, everyone sits on the couch. You have to tell all.
Yeah. Gotta open up. All right. We got another guest whose legacy in college basketball is undeniable. She's a 2-time WNBA All-Star, a 4-time AP All-American. She has the 4th most points in NCAA women's basketball history and is currently on one of the hottest teams in the WNBA. Please welcome in Ohio State alum and Indiana Fever guard, Kelsey Mitchell!
Yay!
to our couch.
Good. How you guys doing?
How you
Thanks for
feeling?
having me. How you guys doing?
Yeah. We're pumped to have you.
Thank you. Oh, 5-3. I like that. 5-3. You ready?
Let's go. All right. We got to get right into it because
do
it's
it.
obviously tournament time.
Let's do it.
And you are someone who you hold one of the top 5 all-time scoring performances in a tournament game.
Do I?
You do.
She does.
Like little me?
Like, come on now.
was
45 points in a tournament game.
When was this? What year was this?
I don't know. They don't tell me when, but you did it. So you're on there.
So
and
it's
listen,
proof.
for people who struggle to make layups, me, when I
Do you think?
yeah, do my thing when I hoop. What's it feel like to be like, I'm turning up during a tournament game? Like, I know I'm going on a heater.
Oh, I think for one, I think the atmosphere
Yeah.
and the environment at that time, and I think anybody that's consciously competitive, you know, you guys work on your craft. I've seen you guys in live action as well, so it's like you know that tick that you need, and I don't know if you can explain it, but it's like you know, like once you click and it clicks, the ball is rolling. And anything you do, any profession that you have, but once you got it and it clicks, you feel like you kind of just at that point unstoppable from a mental standpoint, and then you let it flow from there.
All right, you're
That
getting the
flow
zone.
state. You
Yeah.
feel it. It's like
just feel
different.
it.
You don't hear or see anything else. You're
got
like
it.
locked in.
I feel like it's so different though in basketball because like you get that validation of like making points.
Yeah.
Where in football you like it's a bit different.
And when you see the tough ones go in, when the tough shots go in,
Yeah,
and
you're
like
like,
crunch
ooh.
time games, you're like,
when those
this
start
might
to
be
fall.
my moment.
This is my day. This is my
Don't mess it up.
day. Let's go. Okay, of all the players still left in the tournament, who do you think could go on a heater in this Final Four championship?
Oh, Madison.
Okay.
yes.
Mid-range,
Oh, for
mid-range
sure.
baby.
And you can't forget Paige. I think her ability to shoot the ball from different parts of the floor, you don't see it a lot. And I think South Carolina also has multiple guards that can like obviously play aggressively, but I think once you see the ball rolling, as far as Madison, she has a chance to go from like 10 to 25 easy.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Okay, I gotta ask. Just moving from college basketball to WNBA, Fever's been making some fun off-season moves. How you feeling?
It's hot, Kaylin.
It's hot there.
Damn it, Kaylin.
How you feeling?
Feels amazing. Indiana, I've seen it. I kid you not, guys. I've seen it from 2018 to now. We played in barns. We played at
No, you
Coliseums.
didn't.
Yeah.
Like
there-
straw.
Yeah, like State Fairgrounds. Yeah. Horses. Yeah. We would come on. We would go play the game
wait. You
after
gotta-
they had like the monster truck events. Like so
No.
it smelled
No
like cow
way.
manure. And
PJ's face.
I kid you not. I've seen it all. No, for real. I've been fortunate to see Indiana through the ups and downs.
Right.
Obviously, Tamika Catch's run on that run in an era of winning, and then they went through a rebuild stage, and I was a part of that. And so now to see it on the other side, I just kind of like, I never jumped ship, so my loyalty was to what division Indiana had, and now I'm on the side of it where you get to flourish. So hopefully it'll go great.
Yeah. What does that feel like to go from like a all-out rebuild
Yeah.
to now being in this moment where you're like going to be the most televised team in the league? You have, one of the.
Yeah.
You have Caitlin Clark. You have all these players that have now come to the team. Like, what does that feel like? Is it exciting? Is it like, yo, I've been here from the jump.
Yeah.
Now y'all are like,
Are you thinking championship this year?
Yeah.
Is that
I
is that
definitely
being
think that
talked
we got
about?
a chance to. I think that culture has been built from the moment our season ended. I'd never been in the playoffs, so us making it to play Connecticut last year, that
Really?
was my first one. So
Let's go.
to know that was impossible to make a playoff run last year, I think that the sky could be the limit for us. This year because we're young, we're active, and we just we added vets, but we also added good size and good depth to our roster. So we got a chance to like do something special, even if people don't believe in it.
And
So.
speaking of those new additions,
Yeah.
who are you the most excited to be around, play with,
Yeah.
all of that?
I would have to say Dewana Bonner from a
Legend.
I knew.
Legend.
Like it's just like she's won so much with DT. She's one of the ones that a lot of people I think talk about as far as winning is concerned, as far as like seeing it all and doing it with some of the best. And so she played with Bree G, and she watched DT, break records and be the best guard I've ever seen. So I get to learn and soak up a lot of knowledge. And then I get to pass it to Caitlin. So it's good. It's good.
I love that. All right, so we have a thing on the show called group chat segment, and it truly is like what is blowing up in our group chat during the week.
Which is wild.
We have a Sports Are Fun group chat. So I'm sure that the fever is going to be the subject of many group chat conversations. We don't have those yet. but we have you here today, so we're gonna bring you in on our group chats. And the
Okay.
first thing that we had talking about this past week was Lauren Bett's little sister,
Yes.
Sienna.
Yeah.
She got MVP at the McDonald's All-American game and is now headed to UCLA.
Wow.
Yes. But you played with your twin sister at
I
Ohio
did.
State. So
I did.
so what's that? Yeah, right? How fun is that?
What is fun fact, guys? I'm a twin. I'm a twin. It's a fun fact.
It's a fun fact.
Yeah.
But like, talk about getting to play with
Yeah.
your sister, and do you think that this locks UCLA as like top team next year as well?
Oh, for sure. They definitely have a chance to make another run and be back here where they are this year.
Yeah.
So obviously, shouts out to them for that. But from a sister perspective, it actually ended up being a very unique experience for me because my sister wasn't fortunate enough to end up finishing because she tore ACL twice. And so when she tore it the second time, she kind of was like on a support system side. So she ended up being my voice in my ear for a lot of stuff that I wasn't able to recognize and see. I don't know if people have siblings, but like once you build a bond and you come out the womb from somebody, it's really true. Like the whole twin like thing, I think it's real.
No, oh wait, do we have twins in the house? You guys
Any
are twins? Let's go twins!
Go twins, yes!
Shout it out to the twins.
But yeah, I think that connection that I had and that relationship established from coming up together, I think it helped me through a lot of tough situations as I got older. And as you know, they're making money now doing this, so I can imagine that bond that the Bett sisters will have. They'll lean on each other a lot more than they think they will.
For sure.
Is your sister still in your ear now at all?
Oh, for sure. I just got off the phone with her. What do you look like? You got makeup on? So, yes, all that stuff.
I was about to say, you're talking about
Yes.
like leaning into your sister, like very sweet, very nice. But like, were you getting in arguments about like, you took my shirt?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like,
And
that's my
thankfully, I
shirt.
ended up growing. She ended up growing, and I ended up staying smaller. So I was like, we don't have this problem anymore, you know?
Okay,
But-
that's good.
Kelsey,
Yeah.
I get that because my sister was my point guard. And I was a shooting
You know,
guard.
you get
And
it.
we'd be arguing, going up
You
the
get
court,
it.
like,
You
pass
get
me
it.
the rock,
Yeah.
please.
'Cause we gotta go home
open.
together. Don't start
Right,
this.
like,
Yeah.
don't do that.
So the
I
best
get
sisters,
it.
they'll be good, though. They'll get it. They'll get it for sure.
I love that. I love that. All right, another thing that we talked about this on this past week's show, which is the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And what blew up this past week after our Monday recording was Olivia Miles
Yeah.
said she is not declaring for the draft. She will be returning to college basketball, but in returning, she's entering the transfer portal. So we had some interesting, we had a great conversation around it, just like how when I was in college, transfer portal didn't exist. NIL money didn't exist. Like,
What did you say though?
well, I said I would probably stay at Stanford.
Would you have stayed in college for any amount of? Kelly was like, no amount of money would have made me.
I don't know if I said no. I don't know if I said no.
I'm like, I'll go to the highest bidder. I don't
Highest
care.
bidder, I don't care.
$2 million, I'll wear your jersey.
All right, but you just talked about being very loyal, especially in like your fever.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on
It's a
transfer
blurred
portal?
line. I think for me, because I still play, I'm still like actively in it, and I get to see like I was fortunate enough to see like Kaylin and the experience that she got from it, and even like learn to just watch it like, damn, this shit is crazy. They're actually just getting paid millions for this. You know, you don't believe it. Like you don't believe it. I promise you. I just like, and I grew to respect people like Kaylin because she handled it so gracefully, like the process, because it gets overwhelming.
100%.
So the thing with Olivia, I'm sure whatever she decided to do, I'm going to say that was for her and what she needed for her career. But I hope consciously that they make decisions based on what they need for themselves.
Yeah.
And I say that humbly. Not all money is good money. You gotta
There you go. Put it
Humbly.
on a
Put it
goal
on a
card.
check.
Clock it. What they say, clock it. Clock the T. But no, I mean, it's literally.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're fortunate enough to go anywhere they want, do whatever they want. You know, that's just the wave that they're on, and I think they deserve it.
Right.
I just think that all money is not good money. Hopefully that she decides, whatever she decides to do is for her.
Yeah.
And she's go where she loved and where she's celebrated, not tolerated. So.
That makes sense. I
And
love
I think
that.
Oh, she on it.
Flip it again.
She is on her little
Oh my gosh.
moment.
All right, well, Olivia's going to have to make her choices as she does.
Yeah, for sure.
But now you have to give your choices for tomorrow night. BJ, you asked a question.
I got a question.
What's up, BJ?
If you could pick anyone to join your team from the draft, you get first pick. Just you. Who you picking?
First pick?
You can take anybody.
Anybody.
They're all too good. You can't ask
I'm
that.
tired of the media training. Give me an answer.
Like, what? Man. Based on what the Fever and what I've been doing with the Fever lately, I think based on fit, I honestly would think Madison would play well with us. I think Paige automatically wouldn't probably even be available. But like if we could get somebody based on our style of play and based on what the Fever is trying to do, I think Madison would flow really well. Based on what her team does and how it aligns with, pro style. So yeah.
Have you had a chance to connect with Madison and maybe talk to her?
I have
give
not,
her advice?
actually.
Not yet?
I have not, but I heard really great things about her through really great people. So sky's the limit, apparently. So
We'll text some people.
Okay, now you have to give us your picks for tomorrow's matchups and then who you are crowning
that's
as
And you
a lot
have
of
to
hard
pick. No one's been
questions.
picking.
Yeah, come on.
what did they say?
You have no interest.
have to say a name.
Right? Did you fill out a bracket?
No.
What?
It's unpredictable. Look,
But
look
it's
at the greatness.
fine.
Look at the greatness.
I know, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like, it
you're
was
not
teams that I didn't even think would win down the stretch of the tournament that, like, surprised people.
Yeah,
Great.
I get
Okay,
it.
but
But,
come on.
between South Carolina and Texas, who are you picking? And between UConn and UCLA?
Who plays first?
Texas, South Carolina.
Oh, man, I'm going to go with SC on that one.
Okay, South Carolina.
In
Dogging it.
Okay. I love what she
Logging in.
does.
Okay, UConn, UCLA. She keeps looking back and forth.
I plead the fifth.
Are you running off the stage now? Is that what's happening?
On a serious basketball note, if I had to say, based on what I've watched, the discipline behind UConn is amazing.
Right.
I think down the stretch of winning for 40 minutes, you have to maintain a sense of I don't know if this makes sense literally, but you have to be able to not make mistakes that will cost you. And I think that is discipline. And I think that when you look at UConn and what they've been able to do over the course of years, I can see them winning.
All right. Hey, I have them winning too.
Okay,
So
And
No
do you see
disrespect to
them-
other teams, though.
And do you see them winning the whole thing?
I definitely plead the fifth on that.
okay, all right. We'll let you go. We'll let you go. Everybody, give it up for Kelsey Mitchell. Give it up, even though she didn't want to give her final pick. We're clapping up for her. Listen, all these, nobody wants to tell us. Hey, thank you. You're the best. Dude, we got some quotes out of that.
That was crazy.
Oh my God, I just feel
I
like
am
I-
motivated.
Wisdom
need her.
bombs.
I gotta
left and
remember,
right.
not all money's good money.
You need to remember that, Merritt. You do.
I do.
All right. We have another guest joining us tonight. She cannot be here in person, so she's going to be joining us digitally.
We'll see how this goes.
Since we
everyone.
had Aaliyah on, we figured it was only fair to bring on somebody from UCLA. And this girl is in the hotel prepping at the moment, getting ready to play tomorrow night. Please help us welcome Big Ten tournament champion and junior guard, Gabriella Jaquez. All right. How you doing?
Doing well, just, trying to get some rest, excited for tomorrow.
You're like, I'm trying to get some rest, don't want to be doing this media interview, but we appreciate you being here with us for a couple minutes. Listen, I was shocked when I found out that this was UCLA's first Final Four. So I'm curious for you, how does it feel to be a part of a team that is bringing UCLA to the Final Four for the first time?
Yeah, really excited, really proud of this group. That's why we came to UCLA to do something we have never done before. But we do want to acknowledge that UCLA women's basketball has won a national championship and been to a Final Four in the AIW era, so it's new for NCAA. But we don't want to disregard those teams and those players, but just super excited.
Amazing. What are you doing tonight? Like, what's tonight look like? Give us the inside scoop, being a player that's about to play in a Final Four tomorrow.
Yeah, we just went to dinner, which was really nice. Walking throughout the restaurant, everyone's cheering us on, so it's super cute seeing all the support. But tonight, just gonna go to sleep early, maybe look at the scout again, and just chill.
Your brother made it to a Final Four when he played at UCLA. What advice did he give you going into this weekend?
Yeah, honestly, not too much advice in the way he's super busy right now. He's actually playing a game But he'll be here tomorrow. His experience was a little different than mine in the way he was in the Final Four during COVID. But yeah, I learned a lot from him and the way he plays and goes about himself. So yeah.
Was that like a big part of your childhood, the two of you playing basketball? Is that where you like fell in love with the game, or did he help you grow through that, or was like you do your thing, I'm gonna do mine?
Definitely some of my earliest memories are going and supporting my older brother, whether that was baseball or basketball or soccer, and I always loved to watch him play, and I learned a lot from him. And me and my little brother just at all the games, playing with other siblings. But I would definitely say my love for the game of basketball just came from me starting to play, and I realized that this is something I want to do in the future. Both my parents played basketball in college, so it was just kind of always in me since the day I was born.
It's amazing. You're part of a basketball family.
Yeah, 100%.
There were over 25 Latinas playing in March Madness, and now there are 2 Mexicanas playing in the Final Four, and you're one of them. What does that feel like for you?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's so great just to, represent something so much greater than myself and represent a whole culture, a whole country like Mexico. So I think that is super cool. I have so much family. Going to be at the game tomorrow, about 20 people, and, they're all supporting coming across the country.
We roll deep.
Yes, we do. Exactly. So, I have so much family coming, which I appreciate so much, and just feeling the support from, a whole other country and just all the other Latinos that just support me. I really appreciate it.
How's the team feeling ahead of tomorrow? Like, how's the vibe right now? Or is it, we kind of talked with Aaliyah about, like, does coach get tight? Like, are people feeling good? How are you feeling? And how's the team vibe?
Yeah, we're feeling great. We're feeling very confident, excited. I think coming here in the Final Four, it's such a extravagant experience, and I'm so thankful for it and these opportunities. But yeah, we all are here to play basketball and win games, and we're excited and we're really confident.
We talked briefly about like your routine for tonight, but I'm curious, like, what does tomorrow look like for you? Like, what is your like routine? Have you found one? Is there something that you like prefer to eat? And like when you're going to the game, are you listening to something hype? Are you chill? Like, what's that insight of like you on game day?
Yeah, so on game day actually we're playing at 9:30 p.m., so we have a lot of time, but just going to be taking a lot of naps.
Yo, that game day nap hits so good.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have to take a nap every game day, so we're gonna go to shoot around and watch film, walk through, and do it all, and make sure I get my nap in.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, listen, we know that you got to do naps tomorrow. You got to get to bed tonight, and we're not going to make you pick the winners because we know who you're picking. So go get some sleep. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We'll be cheering you on tomorrow.
Good luck.
Good luck. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Shall we scoot in?
Oh, wow.
We should scoot in, right?
Can we all
Okay,
sit
those
on
are
the
all our
couch?
guests, guys. Hopefully you like them.
I do.
All right, well, that was so fun. What an amazing group of people that we just had come through.
We ripped it.
I feel blessed to have been in their presence.
I can't believe we got that under time.
Yeah, look at us. Wow, we are on it. Well, we had to be.
Yeah,
Because we had a Zoom in, so.
I know.
We paid attention. we stayed focused. Okay, everyone has given their picks. So now we, to close this out, have to give ours. Okay. You didn't do a bracket.
Well, I know, but in my head, I have.
Just to remind everybody. Okay, so who do you have winning tomorrow,
I
and then
just
who do
don't
you have winning
understand
Sunday?
why everyone's having a tough time picking. Yeah.
You know, it's like they don't
like,
want
"Well, I
to
don't
be
wanna
like,
offend
you know.
Okay,
whatever.
well, I'm going Texas over South Carolina.
Okay, whoa. Ooh, fighting words.
I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Why? Any reason?
I
Burnt
think
orange?
that Texas is very good defensively.
Okay.
I think if a team can't score points, which South Carolina doesn't really have that go-to player like we've seen on every other team, they are finding ways to score offensively. But I think Texas has a really good defensive game plan. If you can't score, then you have a chance to win.
Right.
And then I'm going UConn.
Okay.
And then I'm going UConn wins it
winning. Okay, UConn winning. Yes, let's go. BJ?
You're convincing me about Texas.
But
Right.
did you fill out a bracket?
I went to the school of Merritt Mathias. I did fill out a bracket.
Oh my God, that's right.
It's a very high degree of
Oh
education.
my goodness.
I'm graduating top
What's
of
your
my class.
GPA? Yeah, that's what I say.
Very good.
Okay, yeah, very good.
Wait, I don't know. South Carolina and Texas.
Pick one.
I'm gonna go on Team Merritt here.
Oh wow.
Because I think they're gonna rely heavily on Madison Booker tomorrow, and you don't really have that person. I think the closest that South Carolina has is Chloe Kitts.
Okay.
And I feel like we've seen her struggle a little bit.
All right.
But yeah, and I haven't seen her put up like a great performance leading up to this.
All right.
And then I'm going UConn overall.
UConn overall. Okay, you heard it here. All right.
All right.
Grady?
So for me, I have UConn beating UCLA.
UConn over. Okay, nice.
And then I have.
I know you have. You have South Carolina, right?
I mean, my heart has South Carolina, but the way that UConn has been playing, I have to go with UConn because I feel like Paige Beckers is not going back to Connecticut without that trophy.
I agree.
Nope.
I agree.
She heard it here first.
I agree. I'm the same. So I have UConn over UCLA, and then I have South Carolina over Texas, but UConn all the way.
I do have South Carolina in the final.
Yes. Yeah.
We never agree like this.
Is that agreeing?
Yeah, we
You-
all said
I thought-
UConn.
Oh, right. But you
Just
have
in
Texas.
different ways.
Oh.
Right.
But
Okay,
we
so
all-
we're
we all get there at
UConn.
the end.
You're.
No, overall I'm UConn.
We're all UConn.
Yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
he's saying.
it's my first bracket was South
Oh, yeah, you
Carolina,
did
but
multiple.
just the way that they've been playing, I'm not totally convinced.
You've
all right,
been you've been iffy on South Carolina.
I have been.
Yeah.
Because their last few games have been very
Iffy.
tight. Very iffy.
Iffy.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to find out tomorrow. All of us together are going to find out in real time, live from Tampa. I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight. Thank you for being with us here tonight. But listen, we got tomorrow night, we got, like we said, Texas, South Carolina, that starts at 7 p.m., and then UCLA, UConn is after that, and then on the day of rest from basketball, we have soccer, which is very important. USWNT, Saturday against Brazil in LA. BJ's gonna be there.
I'll be there.
If you're gonna be there, go find BJ.
Find me if you're there.
Go become friends with him. And then Sunday, we're going to find out who on this couch or on this stage is right in their brackets and in their choices. We're going to crown a champion. And then Tuesday, we have more USWNT.
And Kelley will be there.
And I'll be there, so come find me at that game. Thank you all for being here. Enjoy the weekend. We appreciate you guys all. Thank you for the support.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.